What's up, church? Today I want to go over Hebrews chapter 12 and discuss something with you I think is really important. Hebrews chapter 12, starting in verse 1, says, Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. I love this section of Scripture, and the reason I love it so much is, as a coach, I love the competitive nature of these verses. See, what they're trying to do here is the writer of Hebrews is trying to have you draw a mental picture here. And the mental picture is of a competition, a race in this instance. And what he's saying is that we are running a race, and in the audience, around the track, are those believers who have passed on before us, who have already ran the race with success. And as we're running this race, they are the ones that are encouraging us and yelling out, telling us, hey, it can be done, we have done it, and trust me, the reward that you get for being faithful in this race is amazing, right? Now, I love some of the imagery that you get from this text, because what he tells us is that we should lay aside everything that hinders us. See, in something called the Isthmian Games in ancient Greece, these were like our Olympics, and the athletes of that time, to make sure that they could win, or to have a better chance to win, some would even run completely naked. Now, I'm not saying do that, because, that's weird. That's definitely something their culture gets, not ours. But either way, they would do that because they wanted to be as fast and efficient as they could be. See, if they won that race, they would be considered national celebrities, and it meant a lot to them to win. So anything at all that could hinder them, they wanted to get out of their way. Right? In this instance, their clothes. But in our situation, we need to lay aside the things that slow us down, relationships that don't draw us closer to God, habits that we have that pull us away from God, people in our lives that might pull us away from God, attitudes that might pull us away from God, like fear or discouragement or discontentment, things like that slow us down and hinder our faith. He says to strip those things off so that we can also be more efficient in our faith. Right? I love the picture that it's trying to paint for us. But the most awesome picture in this is that it says, here's how you succeed. You keep your eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter, or the champion of our faith. Right? I don't know how many of you are involved in track, but when you're in track, when you make that last corner and are going in the last straightaway, your eyes are on the finish line. And your goal is to be the one that breaks that tape, the first one to cross the line. So your eyes are focused. You're never looking around, because if you start looking around, it actually slows you down. You are focused on that finish line. And what the author here is telling us, that our focus, what should motivate us to push in that last stretch, is putting our eyes on Jesus, realizing that he suffered more than we could ever imagine, that he willingly chose to become man, only to be sacrificed, brutally murdered, so that he could pay our sin debt in full, so that he could take the stripes we deserved on his back. That should be our motivation. We should look to the finish line and see Jesus and say, because of what you've done, I'm going to give you everything I have. And when we do that, we'll find that all the bumps in the track, all the debris that's blown on the track doesn't bother us that much, because we're not going to focus on those things. We're not going to focus on the things that might slow us down. We're just going to focus on the things that motivate us, the things that make us excited about being in the race. And that is listening to the roar of the crowds, all those people that have passed on. I know I'm not the only one that has loved ones that's passed on and are with Jesus right now. It's those people in the audience that are cheering us on, saying, you can do this, don't get distracted, keep your eyes on Jesus. And if you can keep your eyes on Jesus, trust me, you not only finish the race, even if you were to stumble, he would come and pick you up and carry you across the finish line. Because not only do we want that prize, he's excited about giving us that prize and sharing that prize with us for eternity. Thanks a lot for spending some time with me today. We'll be back with some more devotions later.